Episode 130 to 133.
Naomi's frustration bubbled beneath the surface as she struggled to find the right words.
Damon, I just don't understand. How could you have saved my grandfather when you've never even left Hillwood?
I'm just as confused as you are, Naomi. It doesn't make any sense.
She paced the room, her hands clenching and unclenching in frustration, trying to make sense of the enigma her father had presented.
My father keeps insisting that we get married, but I can't shake this feeling that there's more to the story.
Seems like quite the elaborate scheme. If he wanted to marry you off, he should have come up with a better story.
Naomi and Damon slept in separate rooms. Damon decided to message Thomas. Perhaps he'd know more about the incident regarding Irene's grandfather. Thomas's reply was even more confusing.
Justin? How would he know?
The next morning, as Naomi headed out for her morning run, Damon remained behind, his mind buzzing with unanswered questions. He was determined to uncover the truth, to understand how he could be connected to a man he had never met. Later that evening, at the Peony Gardens grand opening, Irene, dressed in a vibrant yellow dress, surveyed the bustling scene with satisfaction. The turnout was impressive, and she basked in the success of the event.
Naomi, why are you here so early today?
I'm always on time, everywhere.
Naomi's astonishment was palpable as she took in the sea of guests, her eyes widening in disbelief. She had not expected such a large crowd, and the sight of so many people left her feeling overwhelmed.
How did you manage to attract so many people? The Jenkins family doesn't have that kind of power.
The person who rented the Peony Garden is from the McAllister Club. Once word got out, lots of people invested with them, and that's why so many came.
The mention of the McAllister Club sparked Naomi's interest, a flicker of surprise crossing her features. As Damon made his entrance, his presence sending ripples of confusion through the crowd, Naomi's eyes widened in disbelief. She had not expected to see him here, and she wondered what his connection to the event could be.
Damon? What's he doing here?
Stop him!
But it was too late. Damon had already entered, his presence causing a stir among the attendees.
Didn't you tell your loser fiancé he can't come here, Naomi?
Naomi's frustration boiled over, her voice sharp with irritation.
He has an invite. He didn't come along with me.
As Irene stormed off in a huff, Chloe, one of Naomi and Irene's classmates, approached Irene with a curious expression.
Irene, why are you rushing?
Irene's impatience was evident as she brushed off Chloe's question, her mind preoccupied with Damon's unexpected presence.
Something urgent.
But Chloe persisted, her curiosity piqued by Irene's hurried demeanor.
Are you looking for the gentleman who entered just now?
Irene's laughter was tinged with derision, her dismissal of Damon evident in her tone.
Gentleman? What gentleman? He's just a piece of trash.
But as Chloe recounted Damon's interaction with Mr. Myers, Irene's smug demeanor faltered, replaced by a growing sense of dread.
Mr. Myers was very polite to him. He even gave him his invitation.
Back inside, Damon's presence had not gone unnoticed by the security team, who quickly informed Irene of his whereabouts.
Miss, I found him.
Irene's lips curled into a satisfied smirk, her mind already formulating a plan to capitalize on Damon's presence.
Surround him. This will be the first piece of news to shock the media since the opening of the Peony Garden.
But just as Irene prepared to confront Damon, her phone rang, shattering the illusion of control she had meticulously crafted.
Miss, something happened. Please come here quickly.
The urgency in the security guard's voice sent a shiver down Irene's spine, her heart pounding with apprehension as she answered the call.
What happened?
The people of the McAllister Club said that you stole their names for this event.
Irene's heart pounded against her chest like a drumbeat as she absorbed the shocking revelation. Damon's unexpected presence, like a bolt from the blue, threatened to unravel all her carefully laid plans. Panic surged through her veins as she struggled to comprehend the gravity of the situation.
We need to act quickly. Calm them down before it's too late.
I'm trying, but it's not working. Please hurry.
Irene's frantic instructions belied the turmoil raging within her. The weight of Damon's appearance bore down on her like a heavy burden, threatening to crush her resolve. Irene's eyes darted around the room, seeking solace in the faces of her companions. But even as she looked to Naomi for support, a sinking feeling settled in the pit of her stomach.
Naomi, is that man your fiancé?
Yes, he is.
Chloe's envy, like a sharp pang of jealousy, cut through the air, adding another layer of tension to the already fraught atmosphere.
You really have good taste.
Naomi was taken aback by his sly comment.
What?
Okay, I know. You don't have to pretend.
Chloe's envy hung in the air like a dark cloud, casting a shadow over the room. But Irene's focus remained fixed on the impending crisis, her mind racing with 1,000 thoughts.
Naomi, please. Do you know Mr. Myers?
No, I don't.
Naomi's admission sent a surge of desperation coursing through Irene's veins. With time slipping away, she turned to Naomi with a pleading gaze, her voice trembling with anxiety.
Then quickly call Damon and ask him if he knows Mr. Myers. We need to resolve this before it's too late.
Naomi's reluctance was palpable as she hesitated before dialing Damon's number. Each passing second felt like an eternity, the weight of uncertainty bearing down on them like a heavy shroud.
Damon, it's Naomi. Do you remember Mr. Myers? We need your help to resolve this situation with the McAllister Club.
Damon's refusal, like a dagger to the heart, sent shockwaves rippling through Irene's already fragile resolve. As time slipped away, the gravity of the situation intensified, compelling Irene to recognize the need for immediate and decisive action to rectify the crisis.
Damon, please. What do you want?
Damon's demand, like a thunderclap in the silence, reverberated through the room, leaving Irene reeling in disbelief.
Apologize to Naomi? What for? I've done nothing wrong.
Damon's unwavering resolve, like a mountain towering above her, left Irene feeling small and insignificant. But even in the face of overwhelming odds, she refused to back down.
I won't apologize. I won't bow down to you.
Damon's smile, like a predator sizing up its prey, sent a shiver down Irene's spine. Irene's heart raced as she grappled with the implications of Damon's demand. To apologize to Naomi would be to admit defeat, to concede her hard-won victory. But to refuse would be to risk everything she had worked so tirelessly to achieve.
Irene, you are a scheming woman. However, all your schemes are nothing in front of me. Of course, you can choose not to apologize.
Irene clenched her fists and glanced at Naomi. Of course, she didn't want to apologize. She had been overshadowed by Naomi for so many years, and finally had a chance to make a name for herself.
Well, I'd like to see how you're going to make me apologize. Even if you know Mr. Myers, so what? At most, I will apologize to the McAllister Club today. The reason why we use their name is that the person who rented our peony garden for 3 years is from the McAllister Club.
I hope your luck is as good as you believe it to be.
Damon smiled with confidence.
Even if you know Mr. Myers, you are still a good-for-nothing.
Irene picked up her phone and instructed her staff to pull back the publicity that was related to the McAllister Club.
What's wrong?
Chloe asked in a hurry when she saw that Irene had finished the call. Irene didn't say anything. She turned around and gave Naomi a fierce look.
Chloe, some people are friends on the surface, but they might not be behind their backs.
Naomi understood what Irene meant. Irene ignored Naomi and addressed Chloe.
Do you want to go with me?
Where are we going?
To let you witness something big.
Irene was fearless. Today, she was not the same as she used to be. She believed that she was on another level today. Now, the Jenkins family could no longer join the McAllister Club. But if she got the approval of the big shot who signed the Peony Garden, she would also have an elevated status in Andover province. After that, Irene directly took Chloe to the signing scene. When they arrived at the scene, there were indeed a lot of rumors. However, Irene ignored them completely. All she cared about was the big boss who had signed the contract today.
Irene, congratulations. The Peony Garden has become a treasured place in your hands.
A lot of people congratulated Irene on the accomplishment.
Why hasn't he come yet?
Irene was a little anxious. When her assistant looked at the time and found that it had indeed passed the appointed time, he hurriedly said,
Miss, would you like me to call to urge them?
Urge? Do you know how noble the other party is? How are you supposed to urge them?
Irene didn't dare to do so. She couldn't afford to upset the other party.
Then, Miss Jenkins, I'll wait at the door. Once he comes, I'll inform you.
A few minutes later, the excited voice of the assistant finally came from outside the door.
Welcome, sir.
Irene was extremely excited. She even took a look at herself with the little mirror to make sure that her appearance was looking great. She immediately followed out, holding the contract that had just been sorted out in her hand. Just then, a man slowly walked in from outside the door. That was unexpected. Irene widened her eyes in disbelief.
Damon Hemsworth?
Irene absolutely didn't believe that Damon was the person who signed with Peony Garden directly without looking at the price.
You made a mistake. You let the wrong person in. Isn't the person who signed the contract called Thomas Hale?
Thomas is one of my assistants.
Irene was stunned and couldn't say a word for a long time. Her face was pale. Just then, a reporter approached Damon.
Mr. Hemsworth, what's the purpose of signing the Peony Garden?
I heard that the Pony Garden is not bad. I'm going to sign it and send it as a gift for someone to admire.
Mr. Hemsworth, who are you sending it to?
Naomi Sullivan.
After Damon finished speaking, he turned back and looked at Irene. Irene's legs went limp and she fell on the ground.
Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more great content. Click the notification bell so you never miss an update.